You know, I came from a place in my life when I showed up, nobody applauded. When I used to come to work, nobody applauded when I showed up for work. And to be in a place in my life today where people want to hear what I have to say, it's really a testament to this business. But the gentleman just spoke. He didn't say hardly anything about himself. John Kavanaugh, I don't want to pronounce his name correctly, has massive success in the industry of network marketing. He's not a newcomer. He's not trying to figure this out. There's a guy who understands when he sees a real opportunity because he's seen some bad ones. You follow me? And to have him, he is to me just a perfect example of the caliber of people that are being attracted to Momentous. Some of you are very new, and when you're very new, if this is your first experience, you're actually at a disadvantage because you don't really know how good this is. Because you haven't had anything bad. You're new. You follow me? It's like a little kid. When you give a kid, you buy a kid a new toy, they'll play with the box. Because it doesn't have value to them. Am I making any sense? So I want you to really respect what he said and who he is and what he brings to the table because he's a great example of what we need to be looking at. I see sometimes who are recruiting for this business, and because they don't have a real understanding of the value of it, sometimes we don't talk to the right people. I don't know if y'all hear that the right way. So I appreciate that. God has been good to me, and for me to be in a position in my life right now where I can travel and I got friends around the world, it's just an absolute blessing. But let me just tell you what it means to you. I want to cover something here today that I hope you catch. And I go back and I appreciate what John said. But if all you know about me right now is what you heard him say, it can be misleading. Because he makes me sound like I am a brilliant businessman. And you might start to think, I cannot do that because I'm not as smart as that guy that he made me sound. Trust me. I promise you there's probably nobody in the room today that is as broke as I was when I saw this industry years ago. I was a paycheck to paycheck, what you call hand to mouth. I had nothing. I was a single parent, trying to raise my kids the best I could, and as a man, that was rather hard. I had 2 full-time jobs. When I saw this industry, not this company, but this industry years ago, there was nobody in my family that had a business background. So I didn't have any role models. No one in my family had ever been in business. So I don't know if that hits you. You know, when I looked at this industry years ago, I looked at this to keep my brother out of it. I had a baby brother that called me, and my baby brother went to a meeting years ago, to a network marketing meeting, and he saw something that excited him. Like I hope this excites you today. He was so impressed. I'm his older brother. And he called me. I had 2 jobs. And he called me up and got me out of bed late one night. He was so excited. And tried to explain to me some business he had seen. Now, I don't know how you came here, but to me, I was trying to look out for my little brother. And I told my brother, he tried to explain this, and I said, boy, don't be stupid. Don't let them people trick you. Those things don't work. I've heard about those things. I've never met anybody made money in a business like that. You got a good job. Don't mess up your good job. Leave them stupid businesses alone. Now, in my heart, I was doing the best I could to help my little brother. I hadn't even looked at what he had seen. It just sounded too good to be true. So I agreed to go to the meeting for him, knowing I was not going to join. Because when on that phone that night, I made him tell me, I said, what's it going to cost to get started? This is years ago. And he told me, he didn't want to tell me. I said, well, if it's a business, there's got to be some money involved. And he told me, he said, well, the most you can spend, he said, is about $500. When he told me that, I knew I was not getting in. I didn't have $500. I had 2 good jobs. Hello? But I didn't have $500. So now I know I've got to go to that meeting to protect my little brother. So I go to that meeting just looking for a reason not to get in. I knew I was not going to join. The only reason I went, so I had to learn enough to tell my brother why he should not do it. And can y'all follow me? Now, so there's no one here today that can be any more skeptical or negative than I was. But that business, that night, so impressed me, I joined on the spot that night. My brother wasn't even in. I got in fact, I don't want anybody to do what I did, but I'm going to show you something. I actually wrote a bad check to get in that company. Now, the check never bounced, but I wrote a check that night for $495, and I didn't have $20 in the bank. And then I hurried home, and I borrowed money from family and friends and put it in the bank before that check hit, and I was in business. Now, the reason I tell you that is because, again, see, I love what John said about me, but y'all don't know where I came from. That business that I almost missed turned into a millionaire in 3 years. Now, I'm not saying that to impress you, but to impress upon you. Don't, listen, sometimes opportunity shows up, and you got to make sure, if other people are excited about it, if you don't understand, but other people are excited, you better get in. Because maybe they see something you don't. Am I making any sense? Now, having said that, I'm going to try to go through this. I'm seeing some stuff for the first time, so y'all going to have to bear with me, because we're about to launch this thing, and I've only seen this presentation myself twice. So it's been changed. Now, I think there's a video, so I don't know, are you going to run the video? I'm going to click it, okay? See, I'm not technical, see? I'm going to click this and hope it works, okay? But watch this video. I like the way this video sounds. This sounds a little different, so let me see if y'all can get it. If I click it, okay.
Every day, cost-conscious consumers are introduced to new ideas and technologies that help us look smarter and make life easier. Consider this idea. All of these exciting innovations have one thing in common: power. And even though cooktops, refrigerators, and even toasters are more efficient today than they were 35 years ago, the increased number of new modern home and personal electronics means that we use about the...
Pretty good video, right? Real short, real simple. Now, I'm going to go through a business presentation very quickly for you. What I'm going to show you is a sort of, it's a fluid presentation, meaning some of the figures you're going to see are not yet final. They're still running business models to make sure that the compensation numbers they're talking about will flow in this market. So you're going to see some numbers that are not yet real as we go through it, but let me just start, see if I can get this to work. If I click, there we are, okay. Momentous. First of all, how many here today are here for the first? How many are you are guests? Raise your hand. Real high if you're a guest. You have not yet joined. Just raise your hands really high. We're not going to trick you. Just want to see who's here. Now give them a big hand again. Okay. Now I want to extend a very warm welcome to those who are new here. And I'll say again, I hope that my accent doesn't throw you. I often tell people, you know, I've got a great message, but I may not be a great messenger. I wouldn't want you to miss the message because maybe I'm not the best messenger. You follow what I'm saying? It's critical you don't miss this. So let's talk about who this company is. First of all, we're going to talk about opportunity. And I have found, I don't care where I go, people want opportunity. Doesn't matter who you are, what your nationality is, your background, doesn't matter. People all over the world are looking for better lives, okay? Well, our opportunity is coming from a word called deregulation. It is an incredible word. It has incredible meaning to it. But deregulation started back for us in the 70s, back in America in the 70s when they broke up the airline industry. Airlines used to be extremely expensive. They still are, but they're nowhere near as expensive to travel today as it was, comparatively speaking, 10, 20 years ago, okay? It happened because when they broke up the airlines and allowed competition, competition always does two things. It improves the value of the service, because when a company has to compete for your money, they will improve their service. It also lowers costs, because they must remain competitive. That's what happened in the airline industry, and you got airlines like Ryanair, EasyJet, Virgin Airlines. In America, we got JetBlue, Southwest, dozens of airlines popped up. But in the process, tens of thousands of millionaires were created. Many were created because they started airlines. But others were created because they just invested in the stock of these new opportunities. See, it's opportunity, okay? Then it happened again in the late 80s and early 90s in the telecom industry. I remember in America, if we wanted to call the UK, it could cost us $2, $3, $4 a minute. And we had virtually no choice. If you want to make the phone call, you paid. We had only one or two companies. Well, again, the government stepped in and broke up those monopolies. And they created a lot of new phone companies. Over here you got Vodafone, Orange, O2, Verizon, Virgin, T-Mobile. There's bunches of them popped up. I mean, remember, we got the black phone, the iPhone, the green phone, the blue phone. The phones all over the place. But see, that process dramatically reduced phone calls. But also, tens of thousands of millionaires were created because of the breakup of telecom. Well, it's happening again, this time in energy. And one of the richest men in the world, Warren Buffett, said that the deregulation of energy is going to create the greatest shift in wealth in mankind's history. Because this is the big one. See, everybody has to use energy. Okay? It's huge. And that's where our company comes in, Momentous Energy. Can y'all see that? Am I still making sense? If this makes sense so far, raise your hand. I want to make sure that you're communicating. Okay, here's my point. Momentous to you may be a new name, a new company, but it's not really a new company. John even touched on this. I mean, the backbone of Momentous is Just Energy. That company's been around 14, 15 years. Just Energy already has millions of customers. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. Okay? They have funded Momentous with enough money to make sure they roll this launch out correctly. More importantly, you know, Just Energy is the largest clean energy provider in the world. They're not the biggest energy company, but the biggest clean energy provider in the world. It's huge. And they have funded Momentous as their marketing arm. And as you see on this little point right here, they just announced the expansion into the UK with Momentous. That's why we're all excited. In fact, you know what I want to do right now? I'm going to stop and ask you to clap your hands. Because this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. Now, why are we so excited? In North America, even today, Just Energy, as an energy company, is not marketing energy in every state. But they have a product portfolio where we have some products in every state. Doesn't matter where you live in America, we can participate in the Momentous opportunity. I say that because it's going to happen here in the UK the same way. We also, and not just in America, but in North America. In UK, does that look like a pretty good description of the UK there? All the outlying areas and so forth, you know? Just imagine that at some point, you might have customers or customer points all over that map. You see, most businesses, most traditional businesses are fixed in a certain area. If you have a hair salon, we say salon, y'all say salon, okay? If you have a barber shop, a restaurant, dry cleaners, those are fixed businesses. So you're extremely limited in your customer base. But the thing about network marketing is your business can be all over the world from your living room. You can actually be in your home but have a business in Manchester, the Isle of Wight, Southampton, Castle upon Tyne, Manchester, Nottingham. Doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't restrict your business. That to me is an amazing thing. That I could be in business and have customers that I never met, never have to come to where I live. That's an amazing thing about network marketing. But it gets even better. The reason we're here today, quite honestly, is because you're in the right place at the right time. But you know what the problem with being in the right place at the right time? It's when you're in the right place at the right time, usually you don't know it. It's when you look back and you're no longer in the right place at the right time, you realize where you were. I often talk about a company called Google. How many of y'all have ever heard of a company called Google? Raise your hand. Is that a silly name or what? I often wonder who came up with the name Google. But when Google started 10, 15, 20 years ago, it was a penny stock. You could have bought thousands of shares of Google for a few pounds or a few dollars in America. Today, there are thousands of millionaires because of Google. Now here's my point. Where would you be today had you or your parents invested in Google 10, 15 years ago? You'd be a millionaire. See, you were in the right place at the right time, but you didn't know it. It's now that you look back and you wish you owned some Google stock, but now we can't afford it. Do y'all get my point? Now, you're in the right place at the right time right now with Momentous. But I wonder how many of you know it. You see, I strongly encourage you, because I'm going to go into some numbers real quick. I strongly encourage you, whether you understand me right now or not, or whether you understand the concept I'm explaining, I strongly urge every person here today who is a guest, join this company today. Just get in, and then get paid while you figure the rest of it out. Okay? Can y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Because otherwise you might miss it because you didn't understand something. See? Because I promise you, I can tell everybody in this room right now, I promise you in 6 months, I know what everybody in this room is going to say. Because you're going to talk about Momentous. It's going to be a story. It's going to be a strong story. And 6 months from now, you will talk about Momentous. And I can guarantee you what you're going to say 6 months from now. You will either say, I'm glad I did, or I wish I had. There's nothing in between. You're either going to be glad you got in, or you're going to be wishing you had. So now you're making that decision right now. You are deciding right now what you're going to say about Momentous 6 months from now. You got it? Some of you will just realize what I just said. Okay? And I hope you made the right decision. So, let's move forward. These are some of the services we're marketing in North America in Momentous. Whole range of services. And the thing, when I look at this, the thing that struck me some time back when I saw this was I talk about the word anyway when I looked at this picture here. And I know I'm in the UK, and in America, the word anyway has a certain meaning. But I know there's some cultural differences, and I'm not sure it means the same thing here as it means in America. But how many of y'all have ever heard the word anyway? Raise your hand. You've heard that word, right? Okay. Now, this is not a trick question, but what does the word anyway mean in the UK? Somebody tell me? There's no trick question. What does the word anyway mean in the UK?
Not sure.
Means anyway. Okay. What?
Not sure. Not sure.
Not sure. Not sure, okay. Anybody? Regardless.
Whether or not.
Whether or not. Okay, all those are correct. Now here's my point. How many of you have electricity? Raise your hand. Okay. Now, is electricity free in the UK? No. You got to pay for it, right? Well, now, you're going to see a way to get paid from electricity eventually through Momentous. But if you choose not to join us, aren't you going to pay your electric bill anyway? How many of y'all use the internet? Raise your hand. Is the internet free? Okay, now, whether you join Momentous or not, aren't you going to pay your internet bill anyway? How about cable TV? Do you have cable TV here? Okay. Aren't you going to pay your cable TV bill anyway? Now here's my point. If you're going to pay those bills anyway, why shouldn't you put yourself in position to get paid from something you are going to pay for anyway? Now, if you catch that, okay, if you catch that, that's the magic of what we have. I mean, listen, I'm not against selling product. I've made a lot of money selling product, you know. But when you're selling products, you got to keep going back to your friends. You got to keep going back. I'm selling some juice. You bought some juice last month. You got to buy some more. I'm trying to qualify. Can you buy some more juice? Can you buy some more coffee? I got some great pills. You got to try this powder. Man, this lipstick is wonderful. You got to get some of this stuff, you know. And there's a point when your friends don't want to see you. Because every time they see you coming, they know you're going to try to sell them something else. And they love you, but they just get tired. See, how many times have you seen the person who wired your home for electricity? Do you even know the name of the person? See? Who hooked you up to the internet? Cable TV. We don't even know. But how many times have you paid an electric bill, a gas bill, an internet bill, a cable TV bill, a home security bill, a mobile phone bill? Those are bills you can never finish paying. You pay your electric bill this month, it shows right back up next month. Proud. Okay? Here's my point. That's the magic of momentous. Because you can be in a business where it doesn't cost anything extra to make money from products you're using anyway. Now, in the UK, we're going to start with a small portfolio of products. Eventually, they'll be adding more and more things coming in. Some of the things they're going to have is the EMS, is an energy management system, which is incredible. That is guaranteed to save you between 8 and 20% of your electric bill, regardless of whether you want to be our customer or not. You see, somebody in your household has got to pay an electric bill. You see, they can save on that. If they want to stay with British Gas, Children's Warehouse, Scottish Power, doesn't matter. They can stay with them and get our Energy Miser and still save 8 to 20%. That Energy Miser pays for itself in just a matter of months in savings. That's just one of the services they're going to be bringing here. M-Mobile, M-Digital, Hudson Energy, different things, M-Games. You'll get that stuff explained later on. But the bottom line is, all of those things create residual income. Because there are things you got to pay for over and over and over, you see? But it gets even better. The reason I think so many are attracted to relationship marketing, in fact, in an odd way, John touched on that when he talked about me. See, had I needed, tens of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of pounds to get involved in business years ago, none of you would ever have known my name. But because network marketing is something that anybody can do, network marketing, relationship marketing. The truth is, all of you, every adult in here is already involved in relationship marketing, except most of you are probably not getting paid for it. See? But how many have been to a good movie and really enjoyed the movie? Raise your hand. Who likes movies? Enjoyed the movie? Had a nice time in the movie? When you left that movie, what did you do the next day? You told somebody. You told a friend. Girl, you got to go see this movie. Man, you got to take your wife to go see this movie. Now, some of your friends go to the movie. And they buy popcorn, Raisinets, Fuji beans, whatever. But the movie theater never comes back to you and says, hey, John, hey, James, listen, you sent a few friends down. They had a nice time. Listen, here's your share of what they spent. They don't do that, do they? But you realize that movie theater made money because you sent your friends. A restaurant, a hair salon, a barber shop, manicurists. We build our churches through relationship marketing. You're always inviting people to, whenever we find something we like, we want to tell somebody about it. Well, that's network marketing. That's relationship marketing. But when you do that, somebody else gets paid. The owner gets paid. The business gets paid. But you didn't. Am I making any sense? Yeah. If this makes sense, raise your hand. Okay? Because listen now, if this makes sense and you don't get in, that does not make sense. You're catching that. Okay? Now, so how does this work? We simply, as people, we join this business as reps, as business owners. That's what we are. You pay a fee and you actually own your own piece of the company. Okay? And then we get it through customers. Customers who are paying these bills. Help me out. They're paying the bills anyway. You follow me? All they're doing is moving from them to you. That's the business model. So there we are. We simply enroll a few customers. We teach others to do the same thing. That's our business. And that's the enrollment. That's the approximate enrollment cost for you in the UK, about £159. Now, remember, these figures, I don't know if you can see this here. These figures are not final. Can y'all see that? Some of y'all can see it? So we're going to show you some things. A lot of figures I'm going to give you are still in flux. Okay? In fact, they don't want it. They're limiting this presentation because it's still being adjusted. We made a correction just this morning from something that happened Thursday night. So, but that's the approximate enrollment cost. Now imagine owning a business for about £159. Incredible. Let me say this to you. I had a person the other day said to me, well, if I got to pay to get in, I don't know if I can afford it. You know, I had a mentor years ago that taught, I've had some really good mentors. I've been blessed. I really have. I had a mentor years ago that told me, he says, Gene, says most times when people have very limited funds or their life is, if they're dealing with a lot of lack in their life, they don't have a lot, and they're pinching pennies, as we say, very often they'll put the cost of something ahead of the worth. See, sometimes people think cost and worth are equal. They are not. Don't put the cost ahead of the worth. There is a cost. Make no mistake about it. it's worth so much more than it costs. I joined the business years ago, paid $495 to get in. That was the cost. I will always know the cost. But to this day, I cannot tell you what it was worth because I earned millions with it. What if I had allowed the cost to block me from the worth? Can y'all hear me? Now, I don't know what your station is in life. Just make sure you do not allow something as simple as this to be an issue for you. If this is an issue for you, that's a strong clue that you need this business worse than you know. You just got to hit it the right way. You see, if you've been out of work, if you've been out of high school 5 or 10 years, and this is a big issue for you, that's a strong clue that what you're doing is probably not working. Can you all hear that the right way? Okay, so don't be. I'm just being as clear as I can because I don't want that to happen to you. Now, here's my point. It gets better. This was a mistake the other night. Remember we talked about this is about the website. This is going to change. We changed it from $24.99 £24, something like that, $25. It's probably going to be the equivalent, probably like 17, 18 pounds, something like that. That's going to be your website. That website is incredible. In fact, I've been in business for a while in different companies. This website, I don't want to block y'all. The different screens. This website is not just a website. It's actually part of the tools of your business. And it includes a lot of other things. It includes an entire success library, which is you got training tapes and stuff in your back office. You got mentors. You can run all kind of reports. It's an amazing website. Your customers actually join the business through your website. Now, the one y'all have here, the ones who joined for free, who are pre-enrolled, you have what we call the M-Lite. It's not a functional website. It just allows you to get in and see your downline. It's by no means what you're going to get when you pay the fee for the actual website. It's powerful. And you understand the value of that. It's awesome. There's 5 ways to earn in this business. There's immediate income. Now, again, sometimes these words are different to you than me. In the UK, in America, immediate means like right now, fast, in a hurry, quick money. Okay? What does it mean in the UK? What does immediate mean in the UK? Same thing? Okay. Then you'll like that, okay? We also have mentor bonuses, leadership bonuses, my team bonuses, residual income. The other night we missed the my team bonus. I'm going to talk about that. But all these are ways you can earn. Now again, what if you let the cost block you from this work? You catch my point? Okay, it gets better. Let's talk about immediate income. Immediate income starts with you. It always starts with you. In Momentus, we get, it's customer points that pay you. It's customer points that promote you. Okay? Let me see how this works. When you join Momentus, you need at least 3 customer points to release your first bonus. You can say customers or customer points. Customer points is better because some of our services are more than 1 point. So when you join, your website counts as 2 customer points. See? You need a total of 3 customer points to get paid. That's the first one, okay? Once you've gotten your 3 customer points, it triggers a bonus to you of roughly £50. And remember, these figures are not final. But £50 is pretty good when you only paid £150 to get in business. And you get paid just that quick, okay? This is just the start. They actually give you 30 days to get really 1 more customer point. Since you got 2 when you join. 30 days to do that. And the truth is you can actually be your own other points based on the mixture of services. You choose to take the website, the Energy Miser, the M-Mobile. There's a whole range of things you could do. And you could get the 3 points yourself before you left the house. Okay? But it gets better. Once you are qualified, the next thing you want to do, in fact, you want to do this day 1, is start building what we call your My Team. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going a little fast because this is a new presentation for me. When you get 10 customer points in the first 60 days, that's another £50. When you get 15 customer points in the first 90 days, another £50. When you get 20 customer points in the first 4 months, another £50. Now, it doesn't take 4 months to get 20 customer points. In fact, in America, they're running a promotion right now where if you get 10 customer points in the first 10 days, you earn $1,000. First 10 days. They run promotions like that all the time. That's one of the reasons why many of us are attracted to this business model, because we've never seen a company release so much money on such a very low qualification threshold. In other words, with a limited amount that you did to trigger the first bonus. This is powerful, but it gets better. In America, they have what they call energy freedom. When you got these, I think, 15 customer points, energy customers, they give you $150 a month towards your energy bill. I mean, it's an amazing thing they do. Now, I don't know how they're going to work it over here, but I can promise you, when Momentous does launch in this market, there will be lots of promotions. That's the way they build. You will experience many promotions, which will help you earn money much faster. Make sure people know that. Now, you will also build your mind team as fast as you can. When you join, the first thing you'll do is build these 3 people. We call that your mind team. The first 3 that you enroll and help them get their qualifying customer points, once they've done that, they'll earn 50 points, 50 pounds each. But you're also, doesn't show here, you will have also earned 150 pounds because you get a mentor bonus. It's not shown here, but you get a mentor bonus every time you enroll someone and you help them get their qualifying customer points. Now, once you've done that, that's your mind team. Once you've done that, your next goal is to get to what we call senior director. I went a little too fast. When you've enrolled 6 people, when you've enrolled 3 people, and there's a total of at least 6 in your team. Now you can enroll all 6 yourself, or you can enroll 3, and some way another 3 are in your team. When you've got 6 in your team, and they've all gotten their customer points, you're a senior director. Remember, no one gets paid until customers or customer points are acquired. You don't get paid just for recruiting somebody. You get paid when you help them make some income. Does that make sense? I like that. But that's senior director. In fact, let me stop for a second. For all those in the room that have already earned the temporary rank of senior director, can I ask you just stand up? Those who've already made senior, stand up. Fantastic. Fantastic. Keep standing for a second. Keep standing. Keep standing. Now look around the room. Keep standing. And here's my point. For those of you that are not standing, and you look around the room, you're going to see somebody standing up, and you're going to say to yourself, wow, you mean that person? You mean she was a senior director? You mean he was a senior director? Oh, I know I can do this then. Because you're going to see somebody that you think is not as sharp as you. And you're going to see somebody that is sharper than you. But my point is, you cannot leave this room now and say to yourself, I don't believe this works. Because there's too many examples of success standing all around. Fair enough? Give them a big hand. I might respect this in your big hand. Okay? Now, it gets better. As a senior director, you start to make more money. You now earn at least 70 pounds every time you enroll someone and they qualify with their customer points. Every time. Okay? But you also start to qualify now for what we call leadership bonuses. As your team grows, you'll earn another 20 pounds, 20 pounds, 20 pounds for everyone who comes in your team, regardless of who enrolled them. Once they get their qualifying customer points, 20 pounds come back to you. They earn the 50 pounds, you get 20 pounds come back to you, like clockwork. 50, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. What if 100 people enter your team as you as a senior director, and 100 become in your team, get their qualifying points? 100 people times 20 pounds, that's 2,000 pounds, just like that. And they pay every week. In Momentous, in America, there are people earning $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 and more per week. And I'm going to show you how they're doing it. Okay, this is just the beginning. Once you become a senior director, the next position for you is regional director. Now, that's not on this slide, but once you become a regional director, there's another bonus kicks in. It's called your My Team bonus. And the way it works is, remember when you enroll your first 3 people and you got them qualified, or 3 of your first 6? Once you are a regional director, you're allowed to go back and choose 3 of them that you want to get a weekly check match on. Meaning, whatever they earn each week in bonuses, you'll earn a 25% check match every week. When those 3 choose their 3, which will be 9 on your second level, you'll get a 10% check match on those 9. When those 9 choose their 3, That'll be 27 on your third level. You get another 10% check match on that 27. That's a total of 39 people that you can get a weekly check match on every week. Now, if you understood what I just said, you now understand why whoever enrolled you wants you to be successful. If you catch it. Because the more money you make, the more money they'll make. So they're going to do everything they can to help you get big weekly bonus checks. That's a good thing. I love that. I have never seen that in another company. It's an amazing bonus. But that's at regional director. Also at regional director, your bonuses change. Now when you enroll someone, your mentor bonus is now 110 pounds per person when they get their qualifying point. Okay? But as a regional director, your leadership bonus is now changed to 60 pounds per person every time someone comes in your regional director code and gets their qualifying points. 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. Over and over and over through unlimited levels. What if you are a regional director and 100 people come into your regional director code? Times 60, that's 6,000 pounds. Added to the 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 you're getting as a senior director. See? You start to see how these things add up. And as a regional director, your next position is called national director. As a national director, changes again. Your mentor bonus as a national director, now 130 pounds per person when you enroll someone and they qualify with their customer points. But as a national director, you now start to earn leadership bonuses of 80 pounds each. Every time someone comes in your team, regardless of who enrolled them, as long as they come in your code and they got that qualifying points, that's 80 pounds per person to you. What if 100 people came into your national director code and got their qualifying point? 80 pounds times 100, that's 8,000 pounds. That's added to the 70, 70, 70, the 20, 20, 20, all the money you get as regional director, senior director, all this stuff is added up. Collectively, that's how people are earning 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 per week and more. These bonuses are paid on a weekly basis. It's a one-time payment per person, but you get it every time somebody comes in and qualifies. Now, is this still making sense? If it's making sense, raise your hand. Now remember, if it's making sense and you don't get in, that does not make sense. You catch it, okay? Now, finally, the last position is called international director. At international director, and remember, these numbers are not final, you start to earn, I might have went too fast, you start to earn, okay, your leadership bonuses are now 140 pounds per person. When you enroll someone in your international director code and they qualify by getting their customer points. Remember, no bonuses are paid until customer or customer points are acquired. You don't get paid just for recruiting people. There's no recruitment bonus. These are customer acquisition bonuses. Everybody follow that? Yeah. So you want your team getting customers because that's really what creates your residual income. Now, as an international director, your leadership bonuses for people coming in your code are now 90 pounds per person. 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. Unlimited levels, regardless of who enrolls them in your business. What if 100 people enrolled in your international director code 1 week and got their customer points? 100 people times 90 pounds is 9,000 pounds. Added to your national director bonuses. Added to your regional director bonuses. Added to your senior director bonuses. Added to your 25, 10, 10 check match bonuses. And all that gets added to residual income. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I've gone kind of quick. I know I got a funny accent. Or somebody told me a dodgy accent. I'm not sure what that means, you know. But I know sometimes, I hope you can hear me. I know my accent can throw you off. But I really hope you catch the message. Because if the message is not me, it's this. If you catch this, then you understand why we're excited. You understand why we're attracting such high caliber people. Now I see a gentleman sitting here I met the other night. He's been in the energy business for years. But he's on another level. See, he's been marketing, very successful in his own business. But he sees this. He was so impressed on Thursday night because he has a traditional energy business. He sells solar panels, okay? But his business, it costs him tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of pounds to operate his business. Imagine having a business, 150, 160 pounds you're in, 20 pounds a month to do it, and you can build your business all over the world. That is an amazing concept. He was talking tonight. It blows him away. You got to catch that. This is not a joke. It's real. And I'm going to stop right there because I'm not even going to residual income. I'm going to stop and just tell all of you. I don't know, where is Tim? Oh, okay. I'm going to stop and I'm going to bring up a guy to talk about some training real quick. Here's my point. Has what I've shown you made sense so far? If it makes sense, raise your hand really high. Okay, now guess what I'm going to tell you. If this makes sense and you don't get in, that does not make sense. Okay? I hope all of you get this thing. It's powerful. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate you all accepting me and the teams we got just going around doing things. I'm going to be here for another few days. It's an amazing thing you have. Take this business seriously. Now, I have now shown you what to do, but we haven't shown you how to do it. You now see what you need to do. I'm going to bring somebody up who's going to start to talk about how to do what we do and how quickly you need to get busy doing it. This guy, I met him some months back when I was in Dallas, Texas. He's actually part of my upline. This is one of the guys in my upline. When I met him in Dallas, Texas, he was already what we call TPC, means Top Performance Council. That alone says a lot. Top Performance Council. Everybody on the Top Performance Council. He's one of the top money earners in the company. He has an awesome team, a huge team. Everybody, listen, everybody who's in my team is just a small fraction of what's in his team. You understand? John was saying how big my team is. Well, my team is microscopic in this guy's team. So do you think he knows how to build a team? Do you think he knows what needs to be done to help you get your business going? There's probably no one else in this room better qualified to talk about how to build an organization, what to do in the next 30, 60, 90 days than Top Performance Council member, National Director, Mr. Tim Sparkler.